PYPX, I think about world problems and the world changing and how we can fix it. Concepts, because that was a big part of my PYPX.
Team management skills, time management skills, also a lot of thinking when it comes to your actual project.
Discovering things that we don't learn at school and that teachers don't teach to students.
Like a big idea, that's what comes to my mind when I think of PYPX.
I think PYPX is a way for students to express their ideas.
Innovation,
Creativity, hardworking,
open-mindedness, solving problems,
exhibition,
hard work, big project, and staying up at night. Staying up at night.
The PYPX is the culminating, student-led experience our 5th graders undertake during the final year of the primary years program. It's an opportunity for our kids to explore, share, and take action on an area of personal significance. It's student-initiated, student-driven, collaborative, and hopefully one heck of a good time.
The PYP Exhibition is really a rite of passage for our 5th graders as they transition from elementary school to middle school. Throughout their elementary experience, they have learned how to be inquirers. They're curious and they ask a lot of questions. They've also become very caring and they look out for one another along the way. They've become courageous as they do their presentations and as they argue their point of views. Ultimately, they learn to understand the perspectives of others. By the time our students reach the 5th grade, they're well prepared to use their skills and attributes to fully explore a concept and share their learning journey with a wider audience. We are proud of our 5th graders and appreciate that their exhibitions are the result of collaboration and compromise, moments of pure joy and moments of complete frustration. And in the end, they are an authentic culmination of what the students themselves have experienced.
PYPX is a rewarding and very intense journey for 5th graders. It's a time when they can bring all that they have learned to take action and not only help their community, but also begin to realize the role they can play on a global platform. They bring in their skills, they bring in their learning. It's a time where all learners can be engaged in a really significant action.
So the thing I liked best about the PYPX process was the skills that the students learned, how they took their topics, really worked with questions and questioning, organizing the questions onto a note-taking organizers and finding their sources, taking their research and then organizing it into their persuasive essay through the outline and then creating that and working together to come up with a dynamic presentation.
It's a great opportunity for kids. I think I would have liked to have done it too when I was a 10-year-old. It's a ton of work. It stretches them intellectually, it stretches them socially. It requires a ton of organization, and for many kids that's the first time that they're actually doing that, but it's very much worth it. It's enriching and it prepares them very well for specific skills that you need in your professional career.
PYPX is an opportunity for the students to express themselves academically, artistically, and emotionally. They work on projects that they're very passionate about, and they learn how to collaborate with each other and create something or make something that pushes our entire community to challenge, create, and change this world that we live in. PYPX is awesome.
During the PYPX process, students they get a lot of support on a daily basis from the classroom teachers and the teacher assistant. They also benefit from mentors who are part of the school in various sections and help students set and meet their goals by asking questions, suggesting resources, helping to interpret difficult information, and facilitating interviews or contacts outside the school.
As a mentor, I met with our students once a week. I was actually a co-mentor with Ms. Kambalia. And what we found that worked well was that the kids they were very passionate about what they were what the topics were. They were very keen to do the artwork, and they worked well together, despite the differences that they may have had. What proved challenging was sometimes they might get a little off task or even slow down a bit, and sometimes you just have to sort of find a fine line to guide them back to where they need to be so that they're on track and that they succeed in their PYPX.
PYPX students not only receive support from their class teacher, but also receive support from specialist teachers within the school, such as the French teachers, the art teachers, the innovation specialist, music teacher, and PE teachers. All of these teachers collaborate with the class teacher and each of the PYP groups to provide the expertise that enriches these units and makes them something that is multidisciplinary and supports the learning that each of the groups are doing.
The French department is connected to exhibition by two different ways. The first one is, since the students learn French every day, they are able to conduct their interview, their research in French, so there are some transfers between English and French, so it's very interesting for them during exhibition. And the second reason is they have to do their reflection in French. So exhibition is a long process with action, research, reflection, etc. So the reflection is done in French. That's why, that's how we are connected with PYPX.
This year, the specialists in music and art were invited to support students as they begin to plan and create their PYP exhibitions. Integrating specialists with PYPX helps students to express their learning journey in forms other than what they would do normally in a classroom. So we held a series of mini workshops, and in art we focused on how to use stop-motion animation to express ideas and how to create awareness of a certain subject. In music, students were encouraged to think outside the box. They started by creating a list of over 35 ideas, and the ideas ranged from simply playing music in the background to composing and performing an original piece about a chosen topic. Other thoughts in music included how to improve quality of life of those with mental and physical disabilities, and how music affects nature, including the growth of plants, and how music has the ability to deliver a message in a powerful and unique way. In the end, I think the exhibitions were exceptional. I was so impressed with the many ways that students chose to express their learning journey.
So I've never really worked in a group for that long, and it was quite frustrating and exciting because sometimes we'd have a disagreement, but then we'd go over it and we'd work really well together.
It was fun working in PYPX because you get to work with your friends sometimes, and it was fun giggling and researching. But the challenging part was like sometimes you don't get what you want. Like your group member wants something in the board, but then you want something else, and then it turns to an argument. But then a great tip is you can work at home so that you're gonna finish your work a little bit faster.
So I liked PYPX because it taught us to manage our time. Since we were given a big amount of time, 6 weeks, it taught us, me and I think other students, how to be responsible, manage our time. What I thought was challenging was that we were in the same groups for a long time, and collaborating on some subjects and arguing sometimes was challenging. I thought it was great, especially the fact that we could choose our topic.
PYPX journey is a very cool journey to go through because you learn a lot about project managing, research skills, and sharing information. So the most challenging parts were probably the teamwork and the research, because in the research you had to find different articles, you had to scan the articles, find the important parts in the articles, and in teamwork it was always the communication, who does what at home, and all these communication problems.
I think PYPX was cool because when we took our action and when we made some arts and when we made our boards, and PYPX was also kind of difficult when we had to write, because we had to write like with a big writing, so I had to do it 4 times. Then and it was also tiring when we presented to the parents and the students. Et avant qu'on ne fasse le PYPX, je ne savais pas que ça allait être comme ça. Je pensais que ça allait être plus fun, plus cool et un peu plus amusant. Mais quand j'ai commencé à le faire, c'était un peu difficile et aussi cool. I liked PYPX because when we had some challenging thoughts or when we needed help, we had a teammate. But at some times it was very difficult and frustrating because many people had many opinions and it was hard to choose which one we were going to do. But now that I look back, it looks awesome and all the opinions that we took in were the right ones. I'm happy and it made me curious about the topic that I barely knew in the start of PYPX.
As a parent of 3 girls at ISD, I have been opportuned to watch 2 grade 5 PYPX presentations. My older daughter did it like 2 years ago, and I was really impressed by the depth of research and the work the kids put into their topics they researched on. I actually watched hers. She presented on racism and that of other students in grade 5, and I was impressed as a parent who first of all was concerned about the fact that our elementary kids do not do homework. So when I saw the end product, I'm like, oh yes, I think ISD is indeed getting those kids ready for middle school, where they'll have lots of projects and lots of homework. After watching the presentation of my daughter Leslie today, and I think I was still really impressed by the depth of work and the research the kids put into whatever they are presenting. She and her group presented on environmental issues, and I've learned so much. I didn't know about fast fashion and about wasting clothes. I didn't know that eating so much meat was an issue because I love meat. But from what they presented today, I'm going to watch out, be careful about buying clothes and not using them often. I'm going to be careful also about how much paper, toilet paper and kitchen towels I use, because from the facts the kids presented, I'm appalled at how much waste we on the planet, we actually, how much we waste stuff at the risk of our planet. Thank you.